ISTP-TNI loop, what it means and how to break free. For the extroverted personality types, going into their loop means they turn to their extrovert functions. This isn't immediately a bad or negative thing, and sometimes it occurs under stress as a means of helping the person navigate whatever challenges they are facing. At first, it can cause them to turn towards parts of themselves they normally would not, applying pressure to a function that isn't as natural or strong for them. It can help the individual figure out some things they are struggling with, but if this goes on for too long, it can certainly become unhealthy for them. When they get in this loop for long periods of time, they definitely need a means of breaking free before it applies too much stress to their weaker functions and leaves them feeling emotionally and mentally exhausted. The ISTP-TNI loop causes them to focus only on their introverted functions, neglecting their extrovert ones entirely. The ISTP normally uses their auxiliary extrovert sensing function in order to take action and actually focus on the world around them. When they are stuck in this loop, they neglect this function entirely, which causes their behavior to be so different from the norm. They become hyper-focused on future ideas and can struggle to really see things in a clear and logical manner. Their minds start to analyze every detail about something, which can create this loop that keeps the ISTP locked inside their minds. While they are introverts who enjoy time inside of their thoughts, ISTPs are also about action and living in the present. ISTP typically rely on extrovert sensing. For the ISTP, extrovert sensing is essential to processing and responding to the world around them. This helps the ISTP to not remain stuck in their own thoughts and analysis, but instead helps them to take action and move forward. The ISTP enjoys living in the present moment rather than obsessing over future or past situations. They can view their surroundings and actually enjoy taking action and experiencing a bit of thrill in life. They dislike stagnancy and want to feel free to continue moving forward, and they even like to take the occasional risk in life. While most of the time these are calculated risks for the ISTP since they do analyze the situation and come to logical conclusions, there is still some perceived risk involved and they thrive off of that. ISTP dislike feeling stuck or trapped inside of their own little world for too long and want to actually experience things as well. They use their introverted thinking and combine this with their extrovert sensing, and this helps them to actually make use of their analyzing skills. They can see the most logical path to take using the information they gather and analyze and then move towards this goal. This helps them to remove the sense of doubt they might otherwise feel and instead trust in themselves and their ability to get things done and problem solve. The TNI loop in ISTPs. When the ISTP becomes stuck in their TNI loop, they lose sight of themselves and don't have that same trust that they can get things done. They take in information and analyze it, but combining this with their NI can cause them to doubt the information. They continue to cycle all of this information and their conclusions through their introverted intuition, which can create stagnancy for the ISTP. They keep seeing how things will likely go wrong in the future and become hung up on this path. They continue to foresee adverse outcomes, and so they go back to analyzing the information in hopes of solving the problems. Becoming so obsessed with the details and struggling to get out of their own heads can be rather frustrating for the ISTP, who normally enjoys taking action. The ISTP spends all their time thinking and analyzing, and none is spent doing anything about it. They can come up with ideas and ways to solve problems, but seem incapable of actually moving forward with them. Instead, they become obsessive over the future and sometimes take in past situations as well. Their minds are constantly running through things and want to analyze even the smallest of details that would not ordinarily be important to them. They get hunches or ideas about how things will turn out, but this can often be entirely accurate, and they start to lean towards paranoia for the ISTP. Their fear of how things will turn out sends them back into a tailspin of obsessive thoughts. The stagnancy keeps them trapped in those thoughts, rather than feeling free to take action and experience things in the way they normally want to. How to escape the ISTP loop? For the ISTP, the only way to really escape this loop is to focus on their extrovert functions, mostly their auxiliary extrovert sensing. While taking action can be difficult when the ISTP is stuck in this loop, it is really the only way to break themselves free. They need to consciously seek out ways to take action on their ideas, even if they might fail to accomplish the end goal in the ways they hoped to. Starting small can be useful for the ISTP, just seeking out the physical world around them. Focusing on their senses and the things that excite them, whether going outside or trying out a new restaurant. Focusing on those senses and allowing themselves to live in the present is really the best way for the ISTP to escape this endless loop. It is important to take those first steps towards action when they find themselves trapped in this cycle, rather than allowing stagnancy to control their behaviors and thoughts.